for the music.
In university, and like most university kids, I was trying to steal music. I was just looking at for mainly indie songs and, you know, some electro. And then once I kind of figured out how it worked and how easy it was, and just the fact that it's mainly students and kids my age that are running these blogs. So if they get an email, they probably will listen and give it a chance. I mean, most of the blogs aren't corporations or big companies or very well organized at all, so they're open to new music.
I think everyone kind of came across Hype Machine like soon after it was created. It was like, oh my god, I can download music for free and it's really easy and I can find new things that people are talking about. I can hear what they actually have to say about it. It's not just, oh, here's what's on the radio or here's what one magazine like Rolling Stone wants to talk about. It's what people are talking about in their own homes.
Only one problem is that I have to be very careful about the songs that I don't want released or might be released officially on a record label. I have to make sure those are protected. So while I send them out to DJs or other producers to kind of support or rework or re-edit, I have to make sure that they don't send it out to blogs and these get released in advance. And if it does, then that can seriously hurt the release. So
the only issues I've ever encountered was blogs deleting links because the labels of the major big pop acts would contact the blogs and tell them you have to remove this. And to me, that was just a great sign that, you know, that like they actually heard of it.
With certain producers with tracks that we put on, innocent mistakes really. I mean, one remix actually we put on and I didn't realize that the song wasn't out yet. I put that on the blog and then he emailed us and said, okay, well, it's not released yet, so, I mean, thanks for supporting us. This is their job, and we're posting music to promote them, but if they're not making money off it, then there's going to be no more music for us to post, no more music for us to listen to, more importantly, so yeah.
The thing that I think most producers and DJs need to realize now is that to make more music and to be a profitable musician requires promotion, and especially now with free downloading, I mean, people are going to be downloading music for free anyway. So the fact is that you should take advantage of that and use it as promotion. I know in hip-hop, for example, people give out mixtapes, free mixtapes. Like Lil Wayne sold 2 million records his first week because he gave out about 100 songs for free within that year before that release.
I don't put out all my music for free because I am trying to get some released on labels and then, you know, sold digitally on Beatport or Juno or wherever it may be. But I think it's important to give out free music to keep your name in people's mouths, you know, keep your fresh material coming out. People want to hear new stuff. I mean, take Deadmau5 for example. He puts out a ton of free stuff that he just throws up on his SoundCloud site or the blogs, but then he's also got his albums and his EPs that he sells for music. I think it's important to have a balance of both for sure.
Beatport it's a more DJ-oriented music website, you know. They'll have their like top 15s for like every single genre of electronic music like available on the entire earth. It's a brilliant way to, you know, legitimize yourself as an artist, you know. Being up on that site with big acts like Calvin Harris, Benassi, Tiesto, you know, that it helps you like get a notch under your belt as like a producer and a DJ, like having tracks up with these people, you know, and it's great, just as like it's the same with iTunes, you know. But I think like building yourself as an artist, it's definitely more effective to expose your tracks through blogs and through like word of mouth and for free to, you know, to actually gain an audience first and build a following.
Electro has definitely entered the mainstream. I mean, you look at the kind of the top songs of the past year, and I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas was produced by David Guetta. Sexy Bitch was produced by David Guetta.
Everything in the past 2 years, you know, you listen to Virgin Virgin Radio, and it's like everything is like 115 BPM plus. Like it started like with like Chris Brown and like all the R&B acts. They're like writing stuff that's got like just a beat, like a simple beat to it.
And now the Bloody Beetroots have their own popularity and fan base that's on par with any indie rock group.
You'll hear, you know, Mastercraft or the Beetroots or anybody like that at a club where, you know, you really wouldn't expect it typically. But also in the sense that you can really hear the electronic influence coming into pop music now. People who were relatively more underground before hitting it big. You've got Mastercraft on Letterman, and you've got collaborations with R&B and hip hop artists. So definitely electro has become way more mainstream, and it's making its way into that forefront.
It's not so much that electronic music has become more popular, it's become more popular in North America. Electronic music's been the music of choice for clubbing everywhere else in the world for so many years that it's ridiculous to think that it's only become popular in the last years in North America, but people have kind of actually dug back and looked deeper into what electronic music is all about.
Myself and Marco, we rarely listen to the radio, but when we turn it on, we're just like, this track here has an element of this genre of music, and it's interesting to see.
And you can hear in one of the Lady Gaga tracks, there's actually a Hoover bass, which is what the Bloody Beetroots are famous for. So it's kind of weird to hear it out of that context. You're so used to hearing it, Bloody Beetroots screaming and all that good stuff, and then Lady Gaga is singing about bad romances with a Hoover bass under her. So it is infiltrating everything, which is good, I think, for everyone involved.
There are two major factors that I think will play or are going to be important in predicting what will happen with electronic music, specifically in 2010. The first is the increased access that people have to music through the blog structure aggregated into search engines and aggregators. People can find stuff in genres that appeal directly to them. They can determine, you know, what is popular in a really like measurable way. The other major factor that will play in 2010 is the greater open-mindedness that people are approaching electronic music with now. So I guess if I had to pick like a genre, I would definitely say disco house.
2010 I think is going to be disco and dub, and maybe a little bit of tribal house kind of sneaking in there. Just a lot of the stuff that's come out recently, I guess bassline house would be even another way to put it. Like, bass has just become like the focus of so much music.
We'll see that Latin percussion house and new disco and all those elements of electronic music kind of grow into their own sort of niche.
Everyone's going to realize how big it is, and as more people are becoming fans, it's so available here to us that I think it's just going to become huge in 2010. Everywhere you're going to go, every top 40 bar is going to become an electro bar.
This year it'll be about tribal and the deep sounds, and not so much about the high frequency distortion.
But I think now it's going to become more mainstream with Dim Mak, their whole crew doing the thing in North America. They're getting a whole bunch of releases from over the seas.
I mean, you've got the Beetroots are kind of transforming themselves right now, taking it to a live band kind of performance.
3 words, the real world Dim Mak. It's gonna go visual, that's it. It's all about the house music, and it's great, I love it, you know, and just like incorporate more elements of stimulus to dance music. I completely am supportive of like the complete selling out of music. It's awesome, you know, bring it to as many people as possible, show the movement to everyone, you know.